good morning, everybody. We are in a good mood today. Give me a kiss. Mwah. Consider me your New Year's kiss, I suppose. Does it count if it's already like 2:51 a.m. on the first day of the new year? Maybe, maybe not. All I know is hello, I'm in a good mood because I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. I had 2 portions of that and a side of squirt, not from a lovely lady or whatever, from a fucking can. And I just spilled some on my laptop. Don't watch me slurp it off. Pause. Yeah, I decided to use it napkin instead to be civilized. Anyway, as I was saying, so I had a Christmas fling with this one guy. I still will tell you the story of all of that very soon. It's kind of wild that he's going to be the first topic of this video, considering I'm at least trying to leave him in 2024. But whatever, let's go with it. This man has no social media presence whatsoever, which, is that a red flag or is it not? Who fucking knows? I don't care. It was a fling. All I know is he was hot and I had fun. But basically his lore is that he spent like a large portion of his childhood in China. So basically when he was like 4, his dad and his family moved to China. And in China, you don't get shit out there because of all the censorship. So all he really could watch all the time was Seinfeld. So to his day, his favorite show is Seinfeld. I remember I told him, that's interesting. And he was like, what? You don't like Seinfeld? I said, it's not a bad show. It's just one of those shows you watch when you're waiting for the actual like good new shit to come on, at least in America. You mean to tell me that's what you were watching like all the time for 12 years? He was like, hell yeah, I love Elaine, I love Jerry, I love the... And he was like amped, like fucking lit about it. I remember in the hotel room we had, it was like our 3rd or 4th night, it was like our 4th night there. This man, like, I found the BET channel and I was playing Wild and Out, and this man, he was like, oh, this is the BET! Like, he said it as if it was like some mythological lore that was only like forspoken like ages before, like some sort of elusive prophecy that like kind of he thought wasn't real. He was like, holy shit! And he was like, what's this? I was like, oh, it's kind of like, whose line is it anyway? Do you know what that is? He said, I kind of know what that is. And we watched it. He did not understand a single reference, but he had a fun fucking time trying to decipher it. It's just so surreal. Like, he's never watched SpongeBob. He doesn't understand the hype around it whatsoever. He has no attachments to social media. That's a green flag. He doesn't know anything about rap music. That's a green flag. Like, knowing about rap music isn't inherently bad. It's just white men who listen to rap music, they have a specific aura about them. Like, you know, the type of, like, old white dude who's in his 40s who dresses like he's Soulja Boy, but he works as, like, a data analyst, you know? Like, a good tech job in a fancy building, and all his friends are, like, white or Jewish, with, like, 1 or 2 Asian people. But then you'll just see him, like, post on Instagram, like, oh, I'm going to the Tony Tone concert to get myself some fine chocolate honeys. It's like, you know? Or they'll be like, oh, I don't like modern rap music. I feel like it's so ghetto. And, and they'll insert them, and they'll say every black person looks the same and pretend every black person's their friend. Whole time, every black person fucking hates them. Like, every black person. It's like, it's not, like, a mix between Wigger and it's, yeah, actually, I'll just say it. It's very Wiggerly. So it's like, even though he was the type, I remember I watched on the TV with him some of Ridiculousness, and he was like, what's this? I was like, oh, it's kind of like a modern day version of America's Funniest Home Videos, except like they have a few like modern stars on the show. The show's been dwindling in quality, but it's still good. He had the time of his life watching that show. And what was even more cute was that he heard like the, you know how Ridiculousness, they have the yeah 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 yeah. He basically was like, oh, I know that song, and he whipped out Spotify and he was like, this is Devo. Have you heard of Devo? How do you not know of Devo? And he started playing me this white ass band Devo, and it's like, oh, okay. And we had a fucking blast. I kind of like the type of white dudes where they'll just listen to nothing but dad rock or like occasional like pop rock or emo punk pop, you know? Like, I don't know, those dudes aren't perfect, but there's like, yeah, there is a specific aura of, I'll put it this way, I've dated a lot of white men. There's a bunch of distinctions I can make between the guys who listen to rap and the guys who don't. I'll put it to you like this. I like the white dudes who don't. The ones who do, usually fetishistic and like really like targeted. The ones who don't, they're like they're usually ironically trying to be more sensitive. Like, they don't just assume like, I listen to Kendrick, so I'm woke and I'm better than you because I listen to MF Doom. Yeah, like, you know, they're not one of those. They're one of those types where it's like, oh, Interesting. Teach me about colorism. I haven't heard of that day in my life, because all I do is, I listen to Radiohead, because I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo. They're those types. But even then, his music is hella fucking old. Like, holy shit. This man has not, like, he hasn't watched Mean Girls, SpongeBob. Like, he basically doesn't know about shit after, like, Nyan Cat dropped. It's actually pretty obscene and kind of beautiful. And so he's still, like, he's mostly well-rounded, even though I'm sure you could be like, oh, but Timidity, doesn't he have, like, 16 guns and rifles and shit? And he has very interesting opinions on homeschooling and religion, and yeah. The downside of listening to white dudes who don't listen to rap is that they kind of, like, act a certain way where you're like, oh, I don't want to know who you voted for. I'm trying to be happy today. Fuck. Like, I don't know. I don't know if he's a libertarian, but I don't know. He doesn't trust the government. He's insane, but in a fun way. Yeah. He's a cute fella. I don't know. He is mostly nice, but then just certain things kind of were getting dropped along the way that it's like, it's painting an image. It's painting an image. But it's pretty, because I'm someone who's very active on social media, and I know, like, damn near, I'm almost pretty chronically online. I'm pretty sure everyone could guess that, though. I'm working on it, And then meanwhile, this guy, he's healthy. He's like, oh, if you ask him, oh, what do you like to do for fun on your days off? He'll be like, I just like to sit back and, like, drink a cup of tea and, like, look out the window and, like, ride on my bike and then go to work and then eat food and then occasionally go kickboxing and then, like, you know and then, like, sometimes I'll read a book again or go on a night ride. I don't do a lot. I'm a very boring person. I'm so sorry, Tamia. You must find me, like, so fucking pathetic, because this is how, like, every day for me works. I said, baby, I hate to break it to you, you're doing more than what I've done over the past few months, number one, or hell, in a long ass time in general. And number two, you're doing most than other men your age, but you don't know, because he also, aside from when he did come to America, he didn't also have that many friends. He's a lone wolf type, let's say. So I told him, hey, the average dude who's in your demographic and age range, all they do is, like, play Elden Ring all the fucking time. And then lurk on Twitter all day. I hate to break it to you, you're actually, like, achieving a lot more than the average man. So it's actually very good that you don't have social media presence. If anything, he's such a unique individual that I kind of want to preserve his innocence and naivety. Because it's like, I remember I was so happy back in the day when all I had was a Tumblr. I had a nice little Tumblr, like, way back in the day as a teenager. That was, because it's like, yeah, I got my, like, social media trickle down. Once you go to the big, heavy source of social media, like Instagram and Twitter directly, you're more prone to get sucked into a whole bunch of shit, and then you won't even realize you don't give a fuck about it. Meanwhile, on Tumblr or Pinterest or whatever, you could just be looking at pictures of, like, cute ladies with handbags and pretty nails and stuff, or looking up, or just getting, like, cool, extremely niche content, and then every once in a while you'd hear something but fucking wild, like, months later, in pop culture. So, like, that, I was already pretty happy back then. This man just seems blissful as fuck. Because, yeah, he has a great time. He goes camping, he goes hiking, he goes to gun ranges. He really is out and about. Good for him. Good for him. He's not just stuck on his fucking laptop looking at Twitter. In fact, Twitter is open on my laptop right now. He doesn't have to worry about being, like, left on red on Instagram or not getting enough posts on on his blah, blah, like, no worries about posts or stories or anything like that. He doesn't know what the Fox say is. He doesn't know about Gangnam Style. He doesn't know about Soulja Boy Tell 'em. He doesn't know about Young Money and, like, the classic hit Bedrock. He probably doesn't know, well, he knows probably, like, a little bit about R. Kelly. I think that one's a little hard to avoid. He knows the bare minimum basics about the Diddy situation. He doesn't know about Hannah Montana or the Jonas Brothers or anything about Demi Lovato. He has never gotten in an argument with someone with neopronouns. He doesn't know what an MAP is. Also, unrelated, it's cold as fuck. Why the fuck do I have bed bites? Like bug bites. What the fuck is that? He doesn't know about lab-grown diamonds. Like, I remember when we were watching Wild 'N Out, I had to explain to him, like, every 12 seconds, oh, the reason that joke is funny is because Nick Cannon got, like, 9 different women pregnant at the same time. He doesn't know shit about DC Young Fly. He doesn't know about the classic video asking all them questions. It feels like I met, like, an anomaly of I don't know. Like, if honestly, I wouldn't even be. This man also was so attractive and exactly my type, and we had so much in common. If someone came up to me and said, "Hey, Timothy, seems like he was just grown in a lab somewhere, or maybe he's like some sort of weird CIA or FBI experiment just sent your way to be the perfect man for you," and they wanted to see how perfect of a man they could design for you, while also making him just teeter on the line of like totally incompatible with you, but still having enough with you that you somehow have like enough passion to like survive for another year. Or just like as a social experiment, like Timothy Thick. He doesn't know who Timothy Thick is. He doesn't know about Azealia Banks. He has never heard of Invader Zim in his life. He doesn't know about like famous Twitter people like Love Dove Clark. He has never watched Wendy Williams. He's probably never seen Zootopia. Like, the only cartoons he's really watched is Tom and Jerry. Like, and maybe a little bit of Looney Tunes. He did, like, if you were like, hey, did you ever watch Ed and Eddie? He would say no. He does not know about Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends. I'm just sorry, like, I'm really just saying shit out loud. Because how do I put this? He has, oh my, like, really, if someone said, hey, to me, this is just some random dude they brainwashed and wiped his memory of like anything that the average like white millennial 28-year-old man would have experienced if he lived in America, they just wiped his memory clean. Like, sorry, now I'm just fucking riffing. Like, imagine if some random white dude just got kidnapped by Chinese government agents, had his whole memory wiped, and then they said, okay, we're gonna do the bare minimum of like basic American facts. Looney Tunes, Seinfeld, and you still remember enough Chinese. Also, he taught me Chinese. I forget what he said. It was like "Sao tu mai." It was, he said, he taught me in Chinese how to say "I fucked your mother's cunt," and he said don't ever say that around Chinese people because if you do, a fight will break out. So now I know how to vaguely start. I got drunk with him and then some Chinese people were in the hotel lobby, and I kept scaring him because I would kind of mouth it like "Sao." So, and I would practice. I would act like I was about to yell that shit in the lobby. He was a fun guy. But yeah, and then imagine if some fucking random white guy just knew like bare minimum Chinese and bare minimum American culture, and then it was just like, all right, here's a bunch of shit Timidity feels as a person and likes and stuff. Go seduce her for a week. Go seduce her so we can. I don't know. I know this is sounding very schizophrenic. Calm down. I'm just making jokes. But honestly, if you saw our compatibility in only like 5 days of knowing each other, you'd be freaked out. You'd be like, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if this nigga was a government agent that was just like, I don't know. Wouldn't that be crazy if my life was some Truman Show shit where I was just like a really long, drawn out, like lifelong social experiment, and they were just like kidnapping and brainwashing people to toss into my life, or like hiring agents to just conveniently be perfect in every single way, shape, and form, and then making them traumatize me so that then they can study like trauma on the human body or find new ways to like control people or manipulate them or brainwash them. I don't know. All I know is after I got done hanging out with this guy, I was like, huh, would I homeschool my children? Could I date a guy who's a Christian? Fuck no, I can't. Or at least not the Christianity. I get along very well with Catholics, though, but then again, that's because Catholic people are very horny and very sad, and they like me because it's like, yeah, Tamia will let me have sex with her, and reminds me that I don't have to feel bad all the time, and she knows what depression is. Yay, let's get married. But yeah, this was all just very baffling. It just feels so cool. It's like I'm meeting someone who stepped out of a time capsule that specifically was in another country. I don't, it's just so surreal. If anything, I remember I even asked him, it's like, how many, do you have friends that are other races? He was like, no, I have mostly white friends and like maybe one or two Asian friends in the course of my entire lifetime. And I was like, I'm the first black person you've met and befriended and like have actually had tried to have sex with? Ah! Ooh. That's a whole lot of power. Because I've made this joke before. I like when I meet types of white people like this or people from other cultures who don't meet black people because you could just lie to them. You can make up slang, you can make up holidays, you can make up traditions, you can just make shit up. If you really want it to be chaotic evil, you could just be like, hell yeah. Did you know every Friday in America, like it's actually commonplace that like you give any black person you see like just $5. It's really good luck in our culture. You could be lying like that, or you could just be whipping out slang that doesn't exist. Like you could just make shit up. You could bring out some slang that hasn't existed since the 1950s, and they'll be like, you'll get them to start saying it. I've done that to multiple friend groups. It's fucking hysterical each time. I once made a friend group like a whole Discord of people are just yelling A bars whenever something sounds good. Like A bars, A bar, like, oh, let's go get some food. Oh, we should get KFC and then boba. A bars, like, but did I do that with him? No, because I'm an honest person and he's lovely. But I don't know, that's a lot of power. Like, if, because I really thought to myself, I could corrupt this man. I could teach him, like, what does the fox say, and catch me outside, girl. And, like, I can teach him everything there is to know. Did I? No, because I also thought to myself, he is such a like, I don't know, like, imagine you find like a hidden cave full of perfectly like beautiful like crystals and gold and stalagmites and like, and just like ancient paintings, and you're like, this shit has not been touched by modern man. Now, you could be the first guy to go into that beautiful cave and make the first ever discovered dick drawing in that cave, or you could leave the fuck alone because you should maintain its natural beauty. And that's kind of how I feel about this guy. But on the bright side, he is a very open-minded man. I remember I got to teach him about colorism, texturism, like the like different hierarchies within certain cultures based on race and perception and class. And he absorbed all that information very well, and he didn't question it for a second. He was a very lovely guy. I'm very glad I met him. I actually just got done printing out a bunch of photos of our time together. Oh, I'm wearing, and also he got me this hat. Isn't it nice? It's so cozy. Ah, he's a really sweet guy. I'm gonna miss him. Oh well. I really hope he doesn't have a girlfriend or anything like that. But I don't know. Let's just say I don't know. No social media presence. He didn't get, like, he almost gave me a fake name. He eventually gave me his real one, but didn't give me his last name. And his number is a fake Google Voice number, mind you. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying, like, it's just like that could be the path of someone who just, or actually, I don't know, there's a million reasons for that. All I know is dude was trying to cover up his last name on the signature when he was signing into the hotel, and that was kind of sus. And he also didn't want me posting like pictures or videos of him to my social media, but he was fine if it was on the close friends list. He was an interesting fellow. I don't know, he's a sweet guy. What was so funny about him is that, like, okay, well, this is unrelated, or kind of related. Like, it did kind of inspire me to make the video. I remember he told me straight up, after I told him a few stories about certain friends I've had over the course of my life, he was like, did you ever notice that, like, all of your friends are, like, highly dysfunctional? And I kind of looked at him, and I forget what I said, but it was something along the lines of, oh, I wonder why that is. Because, yeah, birds of a feather stick together, buddy. But you know what let's just say this man got drunk off of some sherry later in the week, and then let's just say he said a lot of very, very sorry, someone's bringing out someone uh broke into a business nearby, I guess. I hear screaming. How fun. Oh, but it was fucking hilarious. Let's just say this dude got really, really drunk and then started ranting to me about, like, how circumcision is evil. Agreed. And about how my mother is evil. Agreed. And he just straight up was tipsy and drunk as fuck. He was like, someone should fucking murder your mother. I will fucking kill your mother. And I kind of thought to myself, like, yep, birds of a feather really do stick. And it was the sexiest thing a man has ever told to me. It's like, oh, you want to get fucked. I'm salivating as we speak. It's like, man, that's one of those sentences you say where it's like, you are going to make me fall in love with you. See, because I was a little bit too perfect. Like, sir, he was a very sweet individual. But it very much did just come out of nowhere. It was because it's like, for the most part, he's like, I believe in God. People should have a moral compass, and those who do evil, that, like, oh, screw them. And it just is so funny that after way too many cups of sherry and coffee, he was just crying, super sweet and blushing, and he just was just like, I would fucking kill your mother. Someone should fucking murder your mother. And it's like, excuse me? It's like, yeah, you are very much worthy of being a timidity friend, dude. Amen. Very shocking. And if you're wondering, me and him aren't in contact, but bless his soul, he's still lovely. But that was fucking hysterical. What the fuck? That was very out of nowhere. But, you know, then again, it's like, hey, you know how many times over the course of my life people have shat on me for estranging my family, or saying, yeah, my mother's a stupid fucking whore cunt. who's a dumbass bitch, and she traumatized a bunch of people. She doesn't, Leia. She got off on being such a terrible person to me. It's my time to finally shine and turn that energy right back to her. Like, people fucking hate that. Do you know how rare it is to find a lovely ass dude who's just straight up like, your mother needs to fucking die? Oh, baby. He's just my type. Yeah, he's so beautiful, man. Oh, yeah, he's wonderful. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's more details to share, but I'd say I shared more than enough. But yeah, that's how my that's what happens when you meet dudes who aren't very socialized. Sometimes you'll just have a date with someone, you'll be like, this guy is really sweet, and then you'll find out on your second day of hanging out that he's got like hello Eiffels, like, and I don't know. He's the right amount of mentally unstable where it's like, I see why we're friends. Alright. I might regret posting this later, but whatever. Bye.